And good evening. Hello, everybody.
Hey
Jeff Gelman
everyone.
of Solid Canine Training, the wonderful Joelle. This is the What Would Jeff Do show. Streaming to you live this Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've got about another 5 weeks of 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then
6 weeks. Right?
6 weeks. And then no, yeah, 6 weeks. And then we head out to Greece. We actually leave on a Tuesday.
We do. We'll have one more show before we go.
And then we're going to switch times. Don't worry, we're still streaming over the summer, but it's usually around noon or 1, maybe 2. All depends because we've got 7 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time is our time zone. We'll be there for 4 months, 16 weeks of new time zones. But
our European audience will be happy.
Yep, be fantastic. But this is a Q&A show. I've been doing dog training for over 2 decades, full time, not a hobby, not part-time. This is all I've been doing. 7 days a week, working dogs. My hands are on the leash all the time. Probably one of the longest running in business family pet dog trainers in the country right now. I don't see that as an ego statement, but I'm just saying we've worked over 10,000 dogs. All I work with is difficult dogs. It's all I do is behavior mod. We document everything we do. Every dog we work, we show our work. Dogs are with us for 24/7 from 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to start doing some 2-week boarding trains, but for simple things, leash obedience. Right now, we're booked till October. People are actually booking in October now. Our shadow opportunities. So we do a bunch of things. We do boarding train programs, and we have a huge online community, online learning. So we do in-person or online. We'll go through all that during the course of the show. I'll explain everything. But right now, if you want to get in with us in person, you're looking in October, November 2026. But whatever you're dealing with your dog, we can help you with. It's funny because Joelle, she does all the social media, just to let everybody know that when you're arguing with me, it's actually not me. It's either
me.
her or a VA in Pakistan or India. But you're not arguing with me. I assure you, you're not. But it's funny, someone, we've got a Great Pyrenees that just came in from Georgia, came in on Sunday, and with aggression issues and a bunch of other things. It's actually smashed a whole window. It's done some serious destruction. It was a $7,000 window it broke. Someone's, I've got a Great Pyrenees with the exact same problems I'll be following. And not to sound cocky, but my response is, you don't need to follow this particular dog. First of all, are you going to see if it works out? Because it will work out. Like the rehab will be successful. But it doesn't matter that this dog looks like your dog. Behaviors are behaviors. So leash reactivity, crate anxiety, resource guarding, aggression towards human or dogs, lack of obedience, selective listening. Like all of that stuff is jumping on people, counter surfing. Like it doesn't matter the breed ever. It doesn't matter the history of the dog ever. I want you to know that. We're experts in our field. No one's working with more aggressive dogs. Most dog trainers don't. So anyway, we can dramatically help you. A lot of what I say is going to sound cocky because I'm so damn confident in what we do because we keep getting the same positive results over and over and over again. We don't try to make things better. We make things better. So it's a good time to ask questions. This is a Q&A show. We're on Rumble, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. But I'm not a social media dog trainer. This is just a show that I've been doing for 16 years. Consistently. Ask questions. What do we got?
We got questions.
Okay.
Avi says, hey Avi.
Hey Avi, how are you?
Rathchung, how to retrain a reactive dog.
What do you mean by retrain?
Retrain?
Why retrain? How about just rehab? I don't understand what retrain means. You trained it to be reactive and you want to now train it to not be reactive? I don't understand what that means. But anyway, how to stop reactivity. Maybe that's how you wanted to word your question. So we've got 4 courses on reactivity, start to finish, how to stop it. if you're brand new to my world, we used to do one-day seminars on stopping leash reactivity where we'd have 20 dogs. We did this every month up in Rhode Island. 20 dogs would show up all reactive. By the end of the class, by lunchtime, they'd all stop being reactive. And we show social proof. Like you can see videos of all the dogs coming in, being trained, and then at the end of the day, what it looked like. So if you want to stop leash reactivity, I would suggest you join our online community. So it might sound like I'm trying to sell every once in a while here, but I'm not going to give you a tip because I want to fully rehab your dog and I want you to be able to do it. So by joining our online community, which is under $500 a year, you get access to the courses you need. You get 26 coaching sessions a year with me, live. And you get an online forum to ask questions and get detailed answers, unlike this podcast where you can't get detailed answered. This is more like, move it along, Gelman, move it along. But leash reactivity, you can stop. We stop it 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. You're not going to redirect. You're not going to teach a better heel. You're going to learn how to stop leash reactivity. I want you to know that that's so important. So you need to learn how to stop a behavior. Once you learn how to stop an unwanted behavior, like everything gets easier. My dog jumps. Well, now you know how to stop it. My dog resource guards. Now you know how to stop it. Like you'll know what to do. And we teach you step by step, full transparency, nothing hidden. Nothing is hidden. Next.
Top chat from Richard says, how do you put a muzzle on a dog who bites?
Hey, Richard. Carefully. There's a skill set. We actually have a muzzle conditioning course. It shows you step by step how to do it. That's available in our online community. Mm-hmm. So we're expert. Again, a lot of this sounds egotistical, but we're experts. What does make an expert on muzzling a biting dog mean? Because a lot of biting dogs, we don't have to muzzle. But in my career, I have probably put muzzles on 500 dogs that wanted to attack me, that did try to attack me. So not just, I've muzzled more than 500 dogs, but 500 dogs that would attack me because as soon as I put the muzzle, they would lunge at me successfully with 100% success. So I would consider that being expert level muzzling biting dogs, right? So we've got a protocol on how to do that, And we use Baskerville or Jeffco, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just not a big fan of the metal muzzles because those can hurt if they punch you. And we can also do the little sleeve muzzles, but those we would only use for maybe if the muzzle is going to be on for 1 or 2 minutes. But if you want to work the dog, you want to use a muzzle where they can pant, breathe, drink water. And if you're going to be doing food training, you can also do food training with it. So we've got a course. It's in our online community. But if you've got a biting dog, you most likely need a lot of help in a lot of other categories, most likely. So that's another great thing about the online community is it will show you how to actually work that dog. But we work with biting dogs every day. And a lot of times you'll see them without muzzles because I always know when a dog's going to bite me. And I'm really good at getting the dog to not want to bite me anymore. But the last dog that we probably did that with was Enzo or Sammy. Sammy's a dog, the Akita that came in from Virginia by transport. We documented that. We showed how we did that. Enzo is a dog that came in from Manhattan. We're down in Florida. And from Manhattan, we documented that. We show you how we do the muzzling. Like we show it all. So it all depends on how much time you have. Sometimes you can counter condition. Other times you just have to get the muzzle on today. Mm-hmm. Mostly we do muzzling where you have to muzzle it today. We don't have time to condition the dog. That's something the owners can be doing at their house. Mm-hmm. We have to get the dogs on, the muzzle on today. Now, the hardest part of that is muzzle gets on, they get it off, and they're in their kennel, and they're trying to attack you. And the muzzle looks like a beard. Now,
sometimes they'll get it hooked on their mouth.
Yes.
They're like, oh my God.
Now, ask this question. How do I get a muzzle off of a dog that's not on its mouth and it's trying to bite me? And there's no leash on the dog. And it's in a crate.
worst.
Ask me, I can show you how to do it. Why? That we've probably only done maybe 50 times. Dogs rarely get
Only
muzzles off.
50.
Well,
I know. It's
yeah,
it's accurate.
yeah,
But only 50.
yeah, because that's like, now it rarely ever happens because we're so good at our muzzling. Better fit, better technique. We've got a little, we got some, how to keep a dog from taking off a muzzle. We got some tips on that. But everything else is just full training. Next. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Very tired today.
Mm-hmm.
Shai says, good evening. Hey, Shai.
Hey, Shai, how are you?
Jeff says, hey, guys, hope all is well.
Yeah, things are fantastic.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, life is great, guys. We're down here in Florida, living the life, helping so many people between our in-person shadows. If you're a dog owner, you can do a 5-day shadow with us. Imagine you have a list of things you want to eliminate. It's not for basic obedience. You got a list of behaviors you want to work on. 5 days, come to Florida, either stay in the RV, you can rent it out, or get an Airbnb. Come here Monday through Friday, 2 to 3 hours each day. We go down the list. If you're a trainer, we have their 8-hour days. Same thing, stay in the RV. And right now, all of our shadows are booked until November. But people are paying now for November, because if you're like, oh, I'll just wait until June or July, it'll be January. So you want to get in on that. Is a trainer or an owner? Trainer, your career will skyrocket, your skill set will skyrocket. Owner, your life will get better, and you'll spend more time making love than you will dealing with your dog. So if you're an owner with your dog and your dog comes here, you get laid way more often. It's guaranteed.
A lot of dogs keeping people from dating, surprisingly.
Yep, 100%. Or they're stressing out couples and they don't want to have sex anymore, or the dogs are guarding one of the couples, or you can't bring home a potential partner because the dog's guarding. Mm-hmm. Or you can't take a trip somewhere with your significant other because no one will watch the dog. So you're guaranteed to get laid more. In fact, we've got, most of our clientele is female. I got a list of females that'll vouch for that. Absolutely. So next.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yep.
Wrath Chung said, I rescued a 1-year-old German Shepherd and I want to teach him how to be comfortable around other dogs besides my Chihuahua. Mm-hmm. He's very reactive to other dogs.
Mm-hmm. So the goal for you right now is existence. That's the goal. Got it? The goal is not to, and you just said more comfortable. So we're probably on the same wavelength. You didn't say, I want to take my dog to a dog park. You said, I want my dog to be more comfortable. Cool, because that's what I want as well. Mm. I want you to be able to take your dog anywhere you want that allows dogs. And I want your dog to be neutral to every environmental. Now, that doesn't mean off-leash dogs rushing up to your dog. It means that you're in an outdoor cafe, there's a dog 2 tables over. You're walking down the street, dogs walk by you. You're at a farmer's market, everybody's got dogs. I want you to be able to have a dog that goes, yep, there's a dog. Yeah, I don't care. Oh, there's a dog. Who cares? That's what I want for you. Now, how do you get that? Our program shows you that. Get into our online community. I'm going to promote the online community, and this is why. To work with us in person, it's a minimum of $6,000. Okay, $6,000 to $8,000. Some programs we have are $10,000 and up. Our online community, though, is $500. This is free. Our social media is free. Our YouTube channel is free. But step-by-step detail, personalized coaching, hand-holding, motivation, accountability, $500 for the year. Next.
Let's see. Minpin Lodge said, that's a long time out for Greece. Yeah, this will be our longest summer there yet.
4 months. Oh, yeah. Good.
We did 3 months last year.
4 months this year, and next year's 5. I just turned 60, so I'm going to die. We all are. But I'm not going to wait anymore to do things. So I just turned 60. I've been working since I was 9 years old. I've been working full time for 51 years. Yes, I went to school, but I always held a 20-hour-a-week job from 9 to 13. Ages 13 and up was minimum of 40. And a lot of my youth and into my 40s was 100 hours. But we're going to die. And I'm not waiting anymore. I'm still working full time, but now I'm only working just 40. But no way, man. We're going all out now, all out on life. Joelle's much younger than I am, but my goal is to retire her but she's going to be doing her retreats, which are awesome. I'm so proud of you. It's going to be great. She's got a first retreat coming up. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. In Greece.
Retreat.
Anyway, let's go.
Let's see. I'm going between everyone on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube and Facebook. So if I'm not reading in order,
don't worry. We'll get to you.
Yeah.
If you're going to be impatient, you skip my question. No, we didn't. Just slow down.
Kira and Quinn, hello, gross topic, but I have a white GSD who is 3. We've had him from puppy till today. She eats her poop every chance she can.
Yep.
We've tried every supplement, etc. It's gross and maddening.
Yep. The stupidest of, okay, if your dog eats shit, you don't got to put stuff in its food. You don't have to give it supplements. It's a behavioral issue, most likely. Most likely it is. Okay? How do you stop a dog from eating shit? You make it suck to eat shit.
So disgusting.
Okay? You don't put like meat tenderizer on it. You don't put Tabasco sauce on it. You don't bury it in a
hole of water.
Now you got a dirty, you have a white German Shepherd? Yeah, that works. Eat collar, shock collar on the dog. You're inside. Make sure it fits the dog. Okay? Test it out. Make sure they feel it. High level. Dog goes over to eat shit. Can you stop fussing around with stuff?
I'm just making, this one looks like it's going to die soon.
Okay.
I'm just checking the level.
All right. And then correct the dog high. Hold the button down. Your dog's going to let out a scream. It's going to not be pretty to watch. You need to make it extremely uncomfortable to make your dog eat poop. And if someone says, oh, so you're using pain to stop? Yeah, damn right I am. 100%. And then hopefully fear. Yep. I want my dog to see poop and go, I want my dog to be afraid to eat poop.
Yeah.
Because if they do, it's going to hurt. Now, they're not going to live the rest of their life like that. But for now, absolutely. 100%.
Otherwise, when they eat shit, they get diarrhea. They're throwing up. It's disgusting.
But not only that, if your dog ever gets giardia, it'll never go away. They're going to keep or worms. They're going to keep infecting themselves. Next.
Disgusting.
Yep.
John, I have a 10-month-old bearded collie from Illinois. I need more training for Brody. He can play with other dogs and cats.
So again, oh wait, this one's from Illinois?
Yeah.
Can't be trained. Should have gotten one from Indiana. Those are smart ones. So what you're going to do is this. We have full courses.
Too close to the screen.
Oh, sorry. We have full courses on basic obedience, on leash and off leash, to public access, to behavior mod. So training your dog on and off leash, and it's service level obedience. A lot of people like to say, oh yeah, my dog is trained, it knows like this and this. And I'm like, can your dog do a downstay and someone can knock on your door and walk in and your dog doesn't move? Oh my gosh, no. Okay, then your dog isn't trained then. Our training is for
get in our community.
In our community.
John.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Because there's everything in there from puppy courses to adult dog courses, on and off leash obedience. Plus, if you ever need it, let's say when your dog hits a year old, it starts displaying some behavioral issues.
You can ask.
Everything's in there.
Yep.
Everything's in the community.
Yep. Oh, your dog was born in Wisconsin. Got it. It's a cheesehead. Smart,
trainable.
Smart dog. It's trainable. Saved you there. You're saved. You're saved, John. So yeah, if you get in our community because it answers all your questions, and these aren't just like namby-pamby courses. What I mean that is they're not snowflake. It's not snowflake dog training, but it's not beat the shit out of the dog training. It's like, you know what I mean? Everyone's got like this. Everyone thinks that if you're not lovey-dovey, you must be being abusive. But it's like, no, this is real dog training. That's service dog quality training on these dogs for public access. You're not going to learn any tasks. We don't do diabetic alert dogs, seizure alert dogs. We don't do that. Dogs have to learn deep pressure therapy, but your dog will learn how to ride public transport, go on an airplane, like
be neutral
in every environment. Yeah. Next.
Morgan said, good slogan for a t-shirt. Another reason to train your dog. You'll get some.
Yeah, it's true. 100%. There's so many couples that are on the verge of divorce over their dogs. There's so many single people who cannot date because of their dogs.
Yep.
It's incredible. Incredible. Next.
Aaron says, should a license be required to own a pit bull?
No, absolutely not. Aaron, are you brand new to my world? That's a stupid fucking question. That's a stupid question. Are you a pit bull hater? If you are, you're entitled to, but you're probably on the wrong show. You're on the wrong show. And guess what? I'm not going to argue with you. But no, No. I think that everybody is doing the best that they can. The news media makes it look like, everybody's getting bit every day.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Meanwhile, Chihuahuas bite a shit ton.
Yeah. And trust me, I've worked with a lot of bully breeds. And I'm not going to say they're the best dogs. I'm not one of those people. I'm not going to say they're nanny dogs. I'm not going to say they're the best dogs. No, absolutely not. But this whole thing about them getting a license, no, absolutely not. No. Next.
Nicole, is there a good way to introduce your dog to new dogs when they're on a leash without reactivity, like on a walk or if you're on a trip somewhere new?
I would highly encourage you to not meet strange dogs. You know nothing about those dogs, and you can't believe the owner. You can't, because their owner's going to say their dog is good. But man, I've seen dog fights start right after those words. Right after that.
Never done that before.
Right, and then it's like, my dog's never done that before. So let me ask you this question. Why does your dog have to actually meet another dog in public? Why can't your dog just exist with other dogs? Why do they have to actually meet? I'll tell you why. It makes you, the human, feel good. Correct? It's a bit, to me, my mindset is I want to take my dog everywhere, and I want my dog to be able to ignore other dogs. That's what I want. I want my dog to be neutral. Next.
Nicole said, good way to introduce. Hold on. Good way to introduce dog on leash without reactivity. I use a pinch collar, but being pulled away almost escalates him more. But off leash, he does well being introduced to dogs.
Right. Okay. Again, it's not a collar conversation. Prong collar and e-collar slip lead isn't going to make your dog better or worse meeting another dog. I can't stress this enough. Don't meet other dogs in public.
On a leash.
On a leash. And off leash, again, if it's an off leash area, well, then everybody there's an inherent risk for everybody. Your dog should be good. If you have an off leash dog and you're in an off leash dog area, your dog is most likely going to meet other dogs. So there should be the assumption that both dogs are good, but I would never take my dogs to an off leash area because I don't trust the general public. I'm a very trusting person.
We just get charged by dogs like every
I see it too
single
much.
day.
I see it too much. So your dog doesn't need to meet other dogs. It's not going to be a better dog because it meets other dogs. And by the way, I'm not against play dates. I'm not against socialization. I'm against strange dogs meeting each other. Next.
John said pit bulls make a great pet.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you, John. Dogs make a great pet. Dogs. No specific breed. Dogs make a great pet. Because I can give you, name a breed, and I can tell you stories about the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
German Shepherds are great. Really? Let me tell you about a dozen German Shepherds that have bitten the family's kids on the face and put them in the hospital. But also, I own German Shepherds. Not right now. I only have a male now. So Malinois make great pets. No, they don't. But I own a Malinois.
We are biased, I think, because we see historically the worst of every breed.
But dogs in general make great pets. Dogs do. Next.
Let's see.
What you're not going to hear from me is catchphrases. Like a lot of people do that all the time. You won't hear that from me. You're going to hear a stripped down version of the truth, meaning the raw truth. And I've seen the worst in every breed out there because that's all I do. That's all I do. Next.
Candace, Jeff, I attended one of your seminars in Maryland maybe 8 years ago. Do you still do those seminars?
So I'm retired from seminars. But you can come here to Florida. I'm retired from the seminars. But we did seminars for 10 years. I did over 300 of them. But we do a dog trainer seminar twice a year here in Florida. It's called Mastermind. And we do boarding training. And you can also come down here with your dog for a 5-day. You can have your own seminar for 5 days.
So here's what we do now.
So you bring your dog down to us for 5 days, and it's one-on-one.
So think of the weekend seminar, but 5
But
days.
for 5 days.
And it's just you.
Yeah, it's just you. But it's only 2 to 3 hours each day.
Yeah.
So it's you. So whatever you got from the seminar, you'll get even more. You'll get even more. Next.
Kira and Quinn said shot collar is getting ordered as we speak. I can't believe I didn't think of that. She's so sneaky. She will go out for a potty.
I know.
Won't go, and then gets inside and poops and eats it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's pooping in the house
Yeah,
too.
it's disgusting.
Ugh.
It's so disgusting. It is. I'd rather deal with a biting dog than a dog with pee or poo issues. 100%. I would much rather. I'd rather have a dog try to bite me every day than walk into a kennel in the morning and have piss and poo in it. Absolutely. 100%. Next.
Morgan said, referring to the introduction to other dogs thing, wolf packs don't go socializing with other packs. They avoid them. They can, your dog and family is your pack. It's actually unnatural for them to go meeting other packs.
I know, but we're not going to throw the wolf thing in there. We're not going to throw the mother dog biting we're not going to throw the mother dog correcting the puppies. We're not going to throw that in there. We're not going to talk about wolf packs. We're not going to talk about science. And I love you, Morgan. Don't get me wrong. I'm boat shopping right now, Morgan, by the way. I'm boat shopping. So we might have a whole new part of our channel, a whole new playlist of me
learning to boat.
Learning to boat.
We're going to have to fly Morgan out to Greece to teach us.
But so right now we're in April, right? I want everyone to be waiting. By the end of July, you will see a video or a photo of our little family pulling up on our boat to one of the islands in Greece, because that's where we have a home. So the Mediterranean is our backyard, and getting off and having a picnic. And there'll be a drone shot of that. I want everybody I'm saying it now, this is going to happen. I'm a big advocate of visioning things. Okay? Big advocate of that. So it's going to happen. Next.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Candace, I have a working Malinois, and if I leave her unattended in my dog yard, she digs the landline. Use the e-collar?
Yep. You might need a double e-collar. Malinois sometimes don't give a shit. It's so much fun to dig. Yeah, absolutely. And this is what people are going to say. Your dog needs a job. No, it doesn't. Your dog needs to be exercised more. No, it doesn't. Now, should you exercise your dog? Of course you should. But exercising your dog more doesn't stop digging. You know how you stop digging? By stopping digging. And that's what you're going to do with an e-collar. Next.
Mm-hmm. Morgan says, super excited about you guys getting a boat. You're going to love it.
Yep. So we're going to get a rib boat. RIB. Rigid inflatable boat. They're big over in Europe. Most people use them as tenders in the United States. And they've got usually anywhere from a 9 horsepower to maybe a 20 horsepower on them. But rib boats in Europe, especially in Greece, you're looking at, anywhere from 90 to 200 horsepower on them. So meaning they're used not just for like puddling around from your sailboat or from your yacht to shore, they're actually used as a major form of transportation. So, and it is very popular because there's not as much, at least on the Greek islands that we're on Naxos Island, but there's not like ports everywhere. There's not like docks everywhere. You're literally going right up on shore. So they're more geared towards like a little four-wheel drive, like a little bit more wear and tear on them. So next.
That's it right now.
So we've got a dog that came in yesterday, the Great Pyrenees. I've got a pit bull coming in tomorrow. We've got a shepherd coming in, cocker spaniel coming in, and they're all going to be trained relatively the same way. Yeah, we show it.
Richie says, Maddie, who you'll meet tomorrow. Is that the dog that's coming in? Maddie?
Richie, that's the husband. Yes. Congratulations. You guys, they just had a baby.
Oh, congratulations.
Yep. It's their first one. Congratulations. Yep.
Says she gets overly aroused when too close to a fellow walking dog. Slip collar isn't doing the trick. She's too strong. E-collar. Yeah, don't worry. We're going to do it.
Richie, like, you're here tomorrow.
That's why she's coming in.
Don't worry about it.
Fully e-collar trainer.
Don't worry. That's not going to happen. You'll be walking next to as many dogs as you want. I'll tell you what, Richie. The end of she's coming in tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay. Sunday.
That'll be your first update. We usually
Angelo, you'll see a video of Angelo. He's 13. He'll be walking your dog next to other dogs by Sunday. Was that 5 days? Yeah, 5 days. Okay, just to let you know. Mark, call me on that. If that doesn't happen, call me on that. Say, Jeff, You said my dog would walk next to other dogs by Sunday. Where's the video? Call me on it. At a minimum, tune into the show next Monday and call me out in front of everybody. Jeff, you're full of shit. You said my dog would walks next to dogs, and you didn't show the video yet. In fact, I might even put the video on the damn show. I'll tell you that. That's what we'll do. Next Monday, I'll put the video on the show. How's that? But I'll send you but you'll see the video before then.
E-collar will be a game changer.
Yeah.
It's really good at breaking through all that.
All the nonsense. All the nonsense, yeah. Because, dogs, there's something, there's something called opposition reflex. You don't even know what that is. It's just this, dog trainers that want to sound smart, usually like to throw out these big words. But what happens is when the dog feels force, they double down and they increase the force. So if you're trying to hold the dog back, they're going to double down and surge even forward. And if you're doing sport work, bite dogs, you leverage that. That's how you get them to actually lunge harder, is you actually hold them back more. So most owners are doing a bite work protocol with their family pet dog, but unfortunately it's increasing their drive and increasing their willingness to pull. And they can pull right through discomfort. So we'll take care of all that for you. Don't worry. We're going to make it so
you can walk the dog, push the stroller.
We're going to make it so you and your wife independently, you can have a baby on your hip, cup of coffee in your hand, and you can walk the dog next to other dogs. That'll be by the end of the board and train. We'll do that. I think they'll only do it in a month, 4-week one. Next.
Shy said, a cocker almost killed my little sister years ago.
Cocker spaniels can be very
we
aggressive.
have a really intense one coming in. Very aggressive one.
Very aggressive.
What, end of this month?
Yep.
End of May.
You put it this way: the last couple cocker spaniels we've worked with, I've been more aggressive than any pit bull I've worked with.
They're intense. Yep. Very intense.
Yep. Absolutely.
And they don't give a shit.
Oh no! I mean, they're built. Everyone's like, well, that's what they're bred for. Like pit bulls, that's what they're bred for. What do you think? Freaking a lot of these hunting dogs are bred for.
Right. And everyone's surprised.
They're surprised.
Cocker they're supposed to be sweet and loving.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe if you're hunting with them and they're out there in the woods, but a lot of the times they can be pretty intense.
It's sort of like a Great Pyrenees.
Yeah.
Do you know that so we've got a friend in Florida who breeds them, and she sells them to farms, exclusively farms. Why? Because they're not herding dogs, by the way. They're guarding dogs. They're livestock guarding dogs. These dogs can take out coyotes left and right. Maul them. Maul them. Mm-hmm. That's what they were bred for. It's funny how people give bully breeds a bad name, but you'd be surprised on how many dogs were bred to cause harm or kill other animals.
Almost all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what dogs were.
That's what they're for. They're great for that.
Even little chihuahuas, they kill rats.
Yep.
They kill vermin.
Yep. People forget that the dogs kill.
Right.
They kill cats, and they don't feel bad about it. Everyone's, he feels bad. You yelled at your dog. That's why the dog looks sad. The dog doesn't. The dog loved every minute of it. You put a terrier on a bunch of farm rats, and man, that's better than an orgasm.
Even and that's why it's get a dog that's bred to be a companion. Okay. Here's the number one companion dog, King Charles Spaniel.
Is it really?
Right. Everyone gets them as companion animals. We've seen aggression in them.
Lots of aggression.
So you can't just say, this breed is meant to be docile. Any dog can be aggressive.
No, they can.
That's why we're it's nurture.
Yeah.
A lot of it is nurture.
A lot of it's nurture.
More than nature.
And it's not being mean. So how do you create an aggressive dog? Be mean to it. Bullshit. Overly love it. 9 times out of 10, it's too much love, too much freedom, no boundaries, no consequences every single time. We see that.
All these little Yorkapoos and Cockapoos and all these little companion dogs. Oh, you want to talk about aggression? Some of them are nasty.
Right.
Nasty little things.
Everybody thinks it's the brown and black people that are being mean to the dog. It's not, guys. Come on. You want to talk about racial stereotypes? Stereotyping? No, it's not what it is. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm seeing aggressive dogs coming out of white American families. Lots of them. If you want to go down that road, college educated, light skinned, professional people, 6-figure incomes. That's where I'm seeing my aggressive dogs come out of.
Everyone wants, oh, it's how the dog was
No.
treated. It's like, no. Have you ever thought that like the dog's just entitled
Yep.
and never got a consequence?
Yep. And they're dogs and they use their mouth. So this is we see it all the
People
time.
hate that conversation.
They hate it.
They hate when we call dogs entitled.
Yep.
They hate when we call dogs
Assholes.
jerks and
Yep.
assholes.
Yep. Bitches. Yep.
As if they can't be.
Yep.
Like they are.
Oh my
Some of
God.
them really are.
How dare you say that?
Like,
I love my dog. I'm like, that doesn't make it a non-asshole.
Right.
I don't care if you like. Loving your dog wasn't the question.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
That's all right now.
That's all we got? Really?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, Angelo, we've got 5 dogs in the boarding train right now. And Angelo is rotating all of them one at a time. Every dog is going to not bark, not whine, not rush out of the kennel, not rush out of the door, not rush to the potty yard. He will take them to the potty yard in a structured way. He takes off the slip lead. They do their business. They come back to him. He puts back the slip lead on, walks them back to their kennel, puts them to bed. He's in charge of closing up the kennel, locks the door, turn the lights on, make sure everyone's got water. But if it's a puppy, they have to take the water away, which right now we don't have any puppies here. And so look at the videos of the dogs we have. So we've got Rigger, we've got Kona, we've got Cozy, Nala, and Dale. Look at all those dogs. And Angelo, who's 13, weighs what? Not even 90 pounds now. He's the one that's in charge of closing the kennel every night.
Mm-hmm.
Takes off all their equipment.
Yep.
Every night. And then he also walks the dogs and he rotates them all day long. He does about 3 rotations a day. That's what he's in charge of. So 2 other rotations, probably even more than that. Yeah, maybe 2 rotations during the day plus last call. We call it last call. Good kid. But he can handle these dogs. All of them. And nobody fence fights, nobody cage fights. You want to hear it? We should videotape it one day. Just set up a video camera and walk out and just show what he does.
Yeah.
Because he's not talking to the dogs either.
No, Angelo's really good with the dogs because he doesn't like make a big deal. He's very much stick to the structure.
Yep.
Kyphrone, have you ever ran into a dog that you thought would be too much?
No. I mean, I've run into dogs that I would never own. Absolutely. I'm like, I wouldn't own that dog. It's just,
We ran into dogs that we thought, I guess, would be way worse than they are.
Yeah.
Like, we see the videos and we're like, holy shit, like, what's his name? That's, why can't I think of his name right now? Rigger.
Who, Rigger?
His videos were intense.
Yeah.
That his owner sent, we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, but once we start working, because sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say we forget how good we are, but I've never had a dog that I was like, holy shit, this is going to be hard. I've gotten dogs in that I've said, holy shit, this is going to be challenging, but that's an excitement thing for me. Because I don't mind hard work, but we've never, and there are dogs that we've worked with that don't stay alive. Absolutely. Like I've worked with truly vicious dogs that should not be in anybody's home. It's not a skill set, even a skill set conversation. It's a dog that's like, that's like, no, that's why you'll hear me often talk about there's no bad dogs. Bullshit. There's a lot of bad dogs out there. There's a ton of badly behaved dogs out there, but there are dogs out there that are genetically flawed that should not be walking the face of this earth. Absolutely. I've met them. But there's dogs that, I'll talk to owners like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Yep. Obedience-wise, no problem. Dog's going to listen to all the obedience commands. On leash and off leash. Behavior-wise, when it's a safety risk, and I never would say that until after we worked the dog.
Right.
But I'll sit down with a client and be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So there's dogs out there that are just too touchy, meaning the hair trigger might still be there.
Yeah. It's such a small amount. I think the
A tiny amount.
worst ones to work with are dirty dogs.
Yeah.
Give me aggression over a dirty
Oh, yeah.
dog
Yeah.
any day of the week.
Well, we won't.
We don't usually touch
So
dirty dogs.
down here in Florida,
We can't.
I actually won't.
No.
I won't. So if a dog shits and pisses in its crate and doesn't mind and rolls in it,
it's the worst.
it actually can't come into because it's in my home. Now in the facility, we would take them, but I'd have to charge extra. Your dog has to be bathed every day. Your kennel has to be cleaned 2, 3, 4 times a day. So I actually don't take those dogs.
It's a really hard one to break.
Yeah, because why?
Because once they don't give a shit about being dirty.
But I'm also not interested.
Yeah.
Like I want to do more behavior mod. Not to say that's not behavior mod, but I'm just like, no, I'm not interested. And I would highly recommend, maybe, believe it or not, they not keep the dog. That's a good reason to get rid of a dog. It actually is.
It's really disgusting.
It actually is. And so many people are going to be offended by that, but maybe not, because there's not a lot of them out there. But I'm just like, what a crappy way to live.
Yeah, we've had people like, every time I leave the house, I come home,
piss and shit, and they're rolled in it.
Oh.
And I have to, every day I come home from work, I got to bathe my dog, clean out my kennel. Why keep the dog at that point? And this is going to trigger so many people, because that is a very, very, very hard behavior to stop. You could, I guess, put a diaper on the dog, but the dog can most likely the dog's going to rip it off.
Mm-hmm.
You get rid of a dog because it shit and pissed in the kennel every day, multiple times a day, nonstop. Yeah. I find it crazy that people would get rid of a dog because it resource guards. That's easy to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Aggression. A lot of work, but relatively easy to fix.
Shy are the dog. Yeah, dirty dogs, like they don't care.
They love it.
They like
they're not we've had dogs.
It's like when dogs go in the woods and they roll and like poop. Think of that. They're doing it in their own shit.
So we've had dogs that have had accidents in the crates overnight here. But guess what? They covered up with a blanket.
And they like move away.
And they won't lie down. And it's in the corner. Like they're embarrassed. They're not embarrassed, but they're like, ew, get me out of here. These dogs love it.
They're dirty dogs.
They love it.
Yes. They have no problem.
It's like an Amsterdam porn film, basically, a German porn film. It's like scat videos.
Sounds like a mental patient. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some of them, back when we had the facility, I can think of like 2, because we don't take them a lot. Yeah. They're very difficult to work with.
Yeah. It's not only that,
and it's like mentally, like,
it's gross.
It's
a time suck.
It's a lot.
You're
tired, you're coming in, you're working dogs, like, oh, more shit and piss to clean up.
Yeah, but hold on here. You ready? You ready for the big thing? You still have to train the damn dog.
Yeah.
You still have to rehab the dog. You have to spend an hour and a half a day cleaning the dog. And you haven't even started training yet. Because now you still have to train the dog. So imagine a dirty dog with all the behavioral problems that we specialize in. You literally can't pay me enough, because I'm just not interested in that. I'd rather work with 3 other dogs than 1 dirty dog. Absolutely.
Do you train duration down with treats or only correct the getting up?
So you're new to our world. Okay. You can do it any way you want to. We use a reward-based system to start all of our obedience. Week 1. Then we start correcting for non-compliance or for breaking a command. The way you get duration around high levels of environmentals is by correction. It's going to be very difficult for you to do it with a reward only. Now, can you do it with a reward only? Sure. But I don't want to spend months in a controlled environment to do it. I want to know that I can take my dog anywhere. So absolutely, we correct dogs for breaking a known command. It's actually an extremely common way to train, and we show it all the time. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're new to our world, you might have heard of, the dog's only holding command because it's afraid. That's a canned line that you're being told to convince you that what someone like us does is wrong, or the dog's only doing it out of fear, or it's only listening because it's in pain. Dogs aren't like corrections don't mean fear and pain. It doesn't. Next.
Kai From said, is there a legitimate solution to it?
There has to be. I'm sure there is. We've
stopped it.
We've stopped it. What do? Monitor their food and water. Number 1. small crate where they actually cannot stand up in.
We usually have to lower the
So we
ceiling.
lower the ceiling of the crate. This isn't forever. Lower the ceiling of the crates, okay?
Very strict potty.
Very
schedule.
strict potty routine. But you don't, but you're, see, the thing is, you can't correct them for doing it. It's not a correct, see, it's not a reward correction thing. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they didn't soil the crate today. Give them a reward. No, because a lot of this is an arousal issue too. So
Have to always be
everything
laying
just
down
has to
in
stay
camera.
neutral.
Yeah.
And you don't, if they messed in their crate, you don't correct that. This is not how corrections work. So it can be a hard one. It can be very difficult. It's something I'd rather not do. So just like I don't train agility, same thing. Just like I really prefer not to raise puppies.
Well, we had
Same thing.
a puppy that was dirty like that.
Yep.
It came from the breeder, dirty.
Yep.
Thankfully, it was a puppy though, but it took us like a good 6 weeks to curve that shit.
Yep.
She was in like a cat carrier. Like literally, the crate was.
And this was also basically we had staff too.
Yeah.
We had kennel staff, trainer staff, support staff. We had kennel techs. Like we had a wash tub. We had a floor that could get soiled. So it wasn't so bad.
In your house though.
In your house? Ugh.
That smell does not go away.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. Next.
Let's see. If a dog is in place and settled but huffing and groaning, do you correct as
Of course.
arousal?
Yes. Yep, you're correct. Yep. State of mind. State of mind. The physical placement of the dog is not enough. State of mind. So you can correct panting, you can correct whining, you can correct alertness. Yep. We do it all the time. We show it too. Like we show you constantly, we're showing you we're showing you videos, photos, we're doing lives, showing you exactly how to do that. That's one of the big things missing from the pet world out there is focusing on the dog's state of mind. Now, a lot of the fancy pants smart dog trainers want to call it like resetting the dog's nervous system. It's like, it's all just, they want to sound smart. You're just correcting arousal. That's all it is. You don't have to reset shit. Next.
Resetting the vagus nerve.
Right. Yep.
I think that's all of it. Morgan says Patron rolls and dead things every chance.
Yeah, that's actually different though.
Yeah, it is.
So our dogs also, when we were up in New England, Joelle had 180. She had
deer shit.
She had 180 acres of
Nasty.
Property. So we had deer, coyote, and then all kinds of other
freaking
animals.
Dive bombed.
Yep.
Wes would come home with globs of deer
Yep.
shit on his neck.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
it's, but they never were. But they weren't dirty dogs though.
No.
Yeah, they just like doing it. It's fun. I don't know why, but
Well,
it's
that's
fun.
instinct. So they smell. They cover up their smell, right?
Is that what it is?
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly. Another old wives' tale.
Right.
Yeah.
Morgan said it's horrible. He's a commercial fishing trap yard dog, and I've corrected it so many times, but he'd rather get his roll in it anyway.
Yep.
When he's going to be inside, he stays on leash and closely supervised.
Yeah,
off leash.
that's all you can do. But you can start correcting that though. That you can correct. Rolling in scat, you can correct. Eating scat, you can correct. Absolutely. You have to.
Bert used to roll in
Yep.
freaking dead fish.
Yep.
If I would take him to like bodies of water, he would
Yep.
like seek out dead fish,
Yep.
dead frogs.
Yep.
Like, you're so disgusting.
They're dogs.
I know.
We've seen dogs eat poop coming out of a dog's ass.
So gross.
So gross. They're like they go right up to another dog as it's shitting. It's like going and getting a soft ice cream
That's
as
mental.
it comes out of the thing.
That's
You know?
mental. Ew.
Imagine that.
Shut up. You seen that?
Of course I've seen it. You haven't seen that? I haven't been doing this long enough.
Hell no. Hell no.
No.
That's disgusting. That's all for tonight.
All right, everyone. Don't forget, boarding trains are booking for October 12th right now, 12th and 19th. Owner shadows, trainer shadows are booking for November. We have a mastermind for trainers at the beginning of, the end of October. And we have something called Fast Track, which is 60 days of online coaching, comes with courses. That's ongoing. That's right now. You can sign up for that right now. And getting into our community, Joelle's going to put the link up for the community. $499 for the year. It'll change your life.
One last question. Kai Frone said, forgive me for the questions, but I'm interested in your wisdom. So when you're correcting, is the level on relatively high, or is it more of pressure?
Well, we use the word pressure, but it's not pressure. It's always shock, right? So all depends on what we're talking about. What did he quite asking a question about?
is a correction.
I know, but what's in reference to? Correcting for what? Eating shit?
Right, like what?
What is it for? Because is it for obedience or behavior mod? And where in the training are you? But a proper punisher is intolerable. So it's always going to be higher. Absolutely. But we have different punishers for different things. So resource guarding, aggression, believe it or not, jumping up on people. These are all higher things. Fence fighting, rushing the front door. Those are all trying to break out of a crate. Those are all going to be higher level. But some dogs don't perceive, just because the number's higher and just because it might hurt you, the dog still doesn't perceive that as a punisher sometimes. We have a dog right now, a spray bottle is its biggest punisher. It can blow through a highest level of an e-collar and it doesn't stop the behavior, but a squirt bottle stops the behavior. Therefore, knowing that punishment stops behavior, the punisher is the squirt bottle is more of a punisher. So it's not always about a higher level. A bonker, which is a cotton towel, is one of the best bad behavior stoppers that exist. And there's no way getting whacked on the head with a cotton towel is more painful than a shock collar on a high level. There isn't. But it's intolerable to the dog. Just like, would you drink a cup of coffee if there was a booger floating on the top of it? Most likely not. But a booger in general isn't painful. Some people don't eat food because there's a hair in it. You literally, I stopped you from eating because of a hair. No, it's not the best example, but for dog training, but the point of stopping something, it just has to be intolerable. And for a dog, discomfort is a very good motivator. It just is when it comes to animals. Or the threat of discomfort. That's why you'll see even people that use shaker cans, they'll hold it up, the dog stops. They'll hold the towel up. They'll hold the remote up. They'll hold the squirt bottle up, right? They point their finger at the dog, right? Those are all threats of something that the dog most likely knows what. So dogs usually want to stray away from discomfort. All right. Okay, everybody. Madly in love with all of you. Jump in our social media. Jump into our community. Our community is powerful. It's a lot of fun. It's very supportive. There's like-minded people. You'll learn a ton of stuff. It's good networking. All right, everyone. Madly in love with all of you. Jeff, Joelle. We'll talk to everybody later. Take care.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.